newcomer. My first meeting in Colorado. Is anyone opposed to vaping? Do I have to spell his name? Consent appearance.
My name is Jake, and I'm an addict and alcoholic.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Okay, is anyone opposed to vaping? Remember what you see here and what you hear here will stay here. The donation basket will be passed around to keep in honor with our 7 traditions. Contributions cover rent, utilities, coffee, creamer, sugar. Just a reminder, after everyone, this meeting is being recorded live. This is preamble. Alcoholics is a fellowship of men and women to share their experience, strength, and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problems and help others recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution, and does not wish to engage in any controversy. Neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Ask someone to read how it works. If you come up to this podium to read it, please.
My name is Bradley. I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober all day today. That has lots to do with God and a little to do with Bradley. How it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. They are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover. They have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have, and are willing to go to anything to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. As some of these we balked, we thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all our innocence at our command, we beg you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which were suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we have harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, we promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood and praying for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaim, what an order, I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to go along spiritual lines. These principles we have set down are guides of progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we're alcoholic, could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, God could have removed it.
Just a quick reminder, if y'all have cell phones, please put them on silent to be respectful for the speakers who speak. Can also read the tradition.
Hi, everybody, I'm Scott. Recovering alcoholic and. This is the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God, as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. Each group has but one primary purpose: carry the message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. These problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our services centers may employ special workers. 9. AA is, as such, ought never be organized, but we may create service boards and committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and film. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before others.
Have someone do the chip.
Pass it on, and I hope that was live, great.
So we're gonna do multiple years first, or just do the chicks first?
You're talking about something.
You were waiting for that, huh? Talk to your sponsor, man. So, brother.
Okay, so I'm waiting to do this. Because I had dropped my twins. So I need another 24 hours, 2 months, and 3 months.
Okay, well, we'll get there. 3 years? Okay. Yeah, let's start with multiple years then. Okay. All right. The first chip is the 24-hour chip, outward expression of an inward desire to stay sober for just 24 hours at a time. All right. Want to give us your name?
I'm Nate. I'm an addict. I've been working on the ain't the same word that much. So
Well, this is for sobriety.
yeah, I was trying to get sober from that. I had an addiction to saying that word. Just keep pushing through.
All right. The next one is, is anybody else taking 24 hours? Anybody at all? Okay. The next one is 30 days, including weekends. 30 days of sobriety. How about 60 days? Anybody celebrating 60 days? 90 days?
Working on it.
How about 4 months? Anybody celebrating 4 months? All right.
Keep on going, man.
Anybody else for 4 months?
4 months. My name is Frederick. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like you here, give your life some meaning.
All right, brother.
He's taking a 3 month and a 4 month.
Yeah, this one last time I forgot I had lost it. It was for alcohol, but now I'm 4 months free.
Anybody celebrating 5 months of sobriety? Continuous sobriety. How about 6 months? 7 months? How about 8 months? All right.
I'm just gonna keep going.
All right.
Congratulations. That was 8 months, right? Okay, how about 9 months? All right, and then 10 months. Anybody celebrating 10 months? 11 months? 10 months? All right.
Thanks to my higher power and all of y'all.
What's that, 10 months? 11 months? That's my dog right there.
I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. Come to these meetings.
That's my dog. Congratulations. All right, anybody celebrating a year? All right, you got 1 year. Is that this one right here? No, that's which one's the one? This is the one you're not. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me see. Oh, this is okay. It's written on there. Here, or wait, that's not one. It would just say one. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Congratulations, congratulations. How about 2 years? Anybody doing anybody 2 years? How about 3 years? All right.
My name is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
The way I got this, man, is trusting and believing in my higher power, taking it one day at a time.
Anybody, yeah, congratulations. Anybody celebrating 4 or 5 years? 4 years, 5 years? We'll just keep going up, right? We're gonna, cause you got a speaker? Oh, okay. All right, thank you for letting me be of service. If you're sober today, give yourself and your higher power a round of applause.
Thank you. Our first speaker tonight, I've known him since I first got here. He's been a really good guy to majority of people here, just like if not everybody. He's one of my good friends. That's why I want to have him come here to tell a little part of his story. Mr. Robert.
Robert, all right.
My boy Blue.
5'8", 25. Have y'all ever seen that deck of nuts whenever he's like, he don't know what to do with his hands?
Yeah.
That's me, man. That's one of the reasons among many why I used to get high. I still have a lot of character defects that I'm still working on. To try to jam pack 19 years into 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's tough. I don't even know where to start, really. I had a good childhood. My dad didn't drink. My brother didn't drink in high school. I didn't have any bad influences growing up. My lowest grade probably was a B- in high school. I probably 90% of the parties I went to sober, and I lived sober. I didn't really care about drinking or doing none of that. I just wanted to hang out with my friends. When I was 16, I got into a car wreck. I was drunk. We had a designated driver. There was 9 of us in the Chevy Cobalt. And one of my buddies, we had shoved in the trunk. So, being in high school, being stupid. We was topped out going down the road they call Roller Coaster Road in Big Spring. And a deer came out in front of us, and the driver swerved. We ended up flipping. We rolled a lot. I ended up going to the hospital. I lost my flatline several times at Big Spring. They didn't know what to do with me, so they laughed at me to death. I was in the hospital for 17 days. And the whole time, I had a smile on my face because of the morphine they was giving me. But I kind of grew I grew into the morphine. I liked how it felt. Even though I didn't want to be here. I just, if there was a way they could have pulled the plug, man, I wish I had called myself. But that morphine, every time they put that morphine, I mean, it was like heaven. You know what I mean? I don't know how many IV users we have in here, but so I got out of the hospital and I was prescribed some very strong painkillers, some sleeping meds, some anxiety meds. I fell in love with them. I couldn't. It got to where I couldn't function without my pills. Like going to church, anything like that with my dad. If I can't take 4 or 5 of my pills, then I'm not going. I didn't go outside of my house for a long time. My friends would be coming knocking on the door. I wouldn't answer because I was just too high to get up. I didn't give a shit. I didn't want to be alive. But them pills kept me alive. They so my prescription got taken away after about 6 months. And by that time, I'm dependent. I'm very dependent on my pills. I got a settlement for $107,000 for my car wreck. I blew through that in 3 months after they took my pills away. All on drugs. Parties, gigs, a lot of cocaine. I found heroin. That's my DLC to this day. I love it. From 2006 up until 2014, that was my everyday thing. I'd spend all day just for a 20-minute high. That's all it lasted. Once that high's over, you got to be searching for more. Because that sickness that comes with that is just, it's unbearable. It makes that depression 10 times worse. I lost my mother in 2014, and that was, I had already thought I was at rock bottom, but losing my mom, me and my mom had bad blood growing up. I was supposed to be a girl, so she kind of tended to my brother more than me. But losing her, it was like I never got the chance to make things right with my mom, and I wanted to after my car wreck, but I was too busy chasing that high. You know, I'd see her at the store or something, and I'd just keep walking. She'd be honking at me, waving me down, and I keep walking. I didn't want to deal with nobody. I just wanted to get high. I wanted to soak my own music, you know. 2014, my grandma, she was walking up the stairs, stepping in water, and I was overdosing overdosing in the bathtub, and I remember her busting the door open, and it's just like that's all I remember. Getting out of the psych ward, I remember my grandma looking me in the eyes, and I could just see the pain. Like she was so hurt, but she didn't have no tears. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ever seen anybody look at you with pain without crying, it's like that's a deeper pain. You know what I'm saying? It's like the tears are all washed up. It's like they gave up on me. I put down heroin shortly after a couple months after that, but that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. there's anybody here with that same VOC, then you feel me. I still didn't like having to live how I had to live, losing something that I know I can't get back. I didn't want to be here. The only thing I wanted to do was get out. That's the only thing that kept me alive for so long was my drugs. I loved my drugs. I got into I had my first daughter. I got back into the pills after I had my first daughter. Just off and on. All I was doing was working. I was there for her physically and financially, but mentally I was still down. You know what I mean? Had my second daughter 11 months later, same shit. And you know, you would think whenever you love something so much, like you'll stop. But you know, this shit's real. It ain't no joke. I give my life for my daughters. If they need my heart, take it. They're my world. But them drugs, bro, just they had me. They had me. And no matter how much I told myself and told everybody that I loved around me that I was tired of that life, I couldn't let go of them because the drugs kept me alive. They kept me in this fucking cesspool. This went on for 9 more years. Whatever you had, I was going to take. I didn't care. My dad tried to beg me to go to church with me every Sunday. I went. I was walking there smelling like a bar. My eyes red, eyes healed every time. There's pictures to this day still that the mother of my kids sends me that I don't remember. Most of my kids' birthdays, I was high. Don't remember being there. Some pictures you see me slumped over in the back. You know what I mean? Now I'm just like, who does that shit? Now that I'm sober, you know, I know I've done it. But I couldn't change my life. Long story short, I got here January 10th of 2025. I was sober up until April 28th. I left here chasing money, trying to be close to my kids. The job fell through. I ended up going back to my hometown, trying to make that fast money. Ended up getting high. I was only gone for about a week. And they're out here. They called me. They saved my life. Chris Hopper, Ryan, a lot of these dudes in here saved my life. I was very close to ending it. So, and I came back, ended up coming back. Been sober since May 8th. It's my birthday. It's one of the worst but best birthdays I've had so far. That makes sense. But now I'm a facilitator at a recovery center. And it's only set me up. God put me here because He knows I do have a story. I'm gonna be an LCDC one day, and this is just a stepping stone. This is a speck of life that I have right now. because I got a lot more lives to live. And I hope and pray that y'all stay and accomplish the things that I've accomplished, because I know it's possible. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Mitchell, would you like to go through? That's speaking.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jules. I have been in recovery since May 9th, 2016. I give God all the honor and the glory. And I just want you to know that keep working it. One day at a time, one foot in front of the other. It's possible. Who said this life would be easy in recovery? Nobody. But I'm not here to preach or to speak. I want to introduce an amazing man that's in my life. My husband. He does have a name. His name is Kevin Matthews.
Hello, family. My name is Kevin Matthews. I am a recovering addict, and I am also a grateful believer in my higher power, which I choose to call Jesus Christ. This is my story, so I can speak freely. Amen. So, I'm from Houston, Texas, where they idolize Rangers and Lexus. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. I was caught up in that lifestyle for many years. So I grew up in what the songs these days that come on the radio would call the hood, right? So in my neighborhood, I grew up idolizing the people who were driving the nice vehicles with the big rims and the systems. You know, I kind of grew up idolizing that, right? Because that's what was around me. And so in my neighborhood where I come from, the motto is, if you're broke, you're weak, right? So we were going to go get it and come back with it. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me ask, how many people in here have been to prison? Put your hands out. I know I'm at home now. I spent half my life there. So I'm not a stranger. We're going to get to there. So my mom, she was a really nice lady. She put me in T-ball and all that good stuff, you know, when I was younger. But as I was getting into my teenage years, she started drinking heavily. She was a bartender at all the local bars around my neighborhood, right? And so I don't know if anybody has ever had an alcoholic bartender family member, but those people generally are not there very often for you, right? So she would go to work 2 o'clock in the daytime. She'd work till 2 or 3 in the morning. Sometimes she'd come home. Sometimes she wouldn't. Sometimes it would be with this dude. Sometimes it would be with that dude. Sometimes, yeah, there was a lot of fighting and a lot of unsteadiness, I guess you could call it, at my, you know, when I was growing up into my teenage years. Dad, the same thing. I don't even remember anyone named Dad until I was about 12 years old when this man got out of prison for a little bit. But then he went back. So I'm sure we can all relate to that, right? So that's the father figure I had. So I didn't have anybody to teach me any type of skill or trade or to push me towards success, right? I didn't have that role model. I let that be a lesson to me today, and I hope I can pass this on. And if we have children, let's try to set them up to where they can be successful. Because if you grow up like I did, it's real easy to go to the other side whenever you don't know another way, right? If you don't know another way of living except for what's going on around you, you try to get good at it. You know what I'm saying? So here I am now, all the bars that I've done gotten welcome and used to go into because my mom worked there, all the bar owners, they know me. And so at a young age, I'm able to go to all these bars and drink and do whatever I want to do because my mom worked at all of them. You know what I mean? So back to the idolizing the people with the big rims and the trucks. And of course, they was into selling drugs. They was into, and from where I'm from, there's a lot of buying and selling stolen goods, guns, burglaries, auto thefts, all that, right? That's how they were maintaining their lifestyle. So of course, I got in with that. And so I'm doing burglaries now. I'm selling drugs now. And I'm a youngster going in and out of these bars that I'm pretty much a celebrity at because of my mom. So I can go in there and the bar owners are not going to tell me nothing. I'm in there selling dope in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I just started kind of falling deeper into that lifestyle. I'm going to try to speed the story up, but to fast forward, I ended up catching my first burglary charge at 17 years old. If you're from Houston, then you understand that at 17 they gave me probation and 90 days boot camp. In Houston, back in the day, I don't know if it's still there, but there was an adult boot camp that if you're on probation and you can go make it through that, then you can get out and be on probation and be good. But I was a little rascal. I got into this boot camp and I let this dude wire me up and he was saying, hey bro, this fence ain't very big. We can get over this fence. We can get out of here. Right? Well, I'm a little rascal. I'm down for whatever at that point. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let's go. So me and this little youngster, three of us actually, we were under the fence. I'm all about it. I hit the fence. I look back. One of us has already turned around and ran back. I'm already halfway over the fence. Then finally, this other dude, he sees that I'm really doing it, and I'm thinking, why ain't you already over it? You talked me into it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm over the fence, but one of them actually goes through, and he goes over with me. That was a dumb mistake. I was 17, because that mistake followed me through a bunch of prison sentences, and which made it bad, because going to prison already is bad. But going to prison with an escape on your record, you're guaranteed to do some hard time. You're going to do some hard time because they ain't going to trust you to do nothing. As soon as you walk in, they read your file. Oh, escape, lock him up. Oh, you're going here, you're going there, you're going there. You lock him up. Just it's off the rip. That's what they do. Right? So I go to prison for a burglary that I had to get to the boot camp. And escaping from the boot camp, they gave me 8 years CDC, first prison sentence. I'm going to fast forward. I got out. I was still thinking the same, doing the same, didn't really care. Went right back to the hood, doing the same stuff. I ended up catching 3 separate burglary charges, and I've had a robbery charge. Everything was related to money. Kicking in doors, grabbing this and that, going on shopping sprees, you know, just living that crazy lifestyle of trying to get money fast because it was keeping me looking good in my vehicles and rims and the houses and jet skis and boats and four-wheelers. All that good stuff that I idolized, it was real easy to get by doing that, right? But I wasn't thinking about the fact that how many years of my life I was ruining because I did like 16 years altogether in prison doing this in and out, chasing this lifestyle, this fast money, right? So the last time I go to prison, last time I catch the burglary charge, I go in front of the judge. I'm in Liberty County, Texas, which is an hour away from Houston, Cleveland area. I go to this little country town jailhouse. I'm from Houston. The judge looks at me when I walk into the courtroom, and he basically says, you're not fixing to come into my town with this nonsense. He basically, he looked at me like, I'm gonna make an example out of you. We don't play that lifestyle over here, right, where we're at, this little country town. So he said, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna offer you 20 years. 20 years TDC, I'm gonna offer you. But if you don't accept it, next month when you come back to court, it's 25 to life. Those are your two offers. Which one do you want? So I was forced that day to sign for 20 years because I knew when I went back, it was going to be 25 to life. He straight up told me there ain't no plea bargain. There ain't no other option. 20 today, 25 to life next month. So I had to sign for 20 years. Now this is where the story starts changing a little bit. I'm in this little country town jail in Liberty County. I get this 20-year sentence, and I feel God tugging on my heart a little bit. Now I want to clarify something. A lot of people, including myself, when we get ourselves into a jam, we'll pray a prayer, Lord, help me out. Right? I've been there. Help me get probation. I've gotten the probation. Ruined that. You know what I'm saying? I called upon the Lord at this point, asking him to change me, to mold me into the man that he had called me to be. But this was after I was sentenced. So I wasn't asking for a way out. Because once you sign that paper, you're not going nowhere. Right? So that wasn't one of them prayers of help me get out of here. That was one of those prayers of Lord help me change because I don't have much of this life left. But however much of it I have left, I want to walk with you. It was that type of prayer, right? So I felt the Lord start working on me from the inside out. In the county jail, in the tank that I was in, I remember starting a prayer circle. Anybody ever been somewhere where they do prayer call? Everybody gets in a circle and prays, right? Well, that wasn't going on where I was at. So the Lord put it on my heart to start that up, right? So I do a little prayer circle in the day room, this little country jail, and we start praying. I start feeling like God is moving through me and speaking to me. And I ask him in that prayer circle, Lord, would you help me to go into this place and to be a different person because I don't want to be who I always have been. Now, speaking of who I've always been, anytime you're a repeat offender like me, going in and out of prison, there's a good chance that you get affiliated with something or someone, right? Especially when you're doing years. I didn't ever go in there for months. I always went in there for years. So, of course, I was affiliated by association to the people who were from where I'm from, right? So I go in there, and naturally, when I get in there, I'm gravitating towards people who have something in common with me, something that we can talk about, which is, the area where we're from. So I kind of get buddied up with the people who I got stuff in common with, right? So I get to this prison. Whenever I catch the chain from the county jail, after doing the prayer circle, asking the Lord to change my life and to help me be someone different. I catch the chain, I get to prison. Whenever I get to prison, I walk into this transfer facility holding tank. When I go into this holding tank, I recognize somebody that, we tell who is who by your tattoos, right? I walk in there, I recognize a dude with tattoos that lets me know that he's probably who I should talk to. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do. So I walk in there and I'm like, what's up, bro? And this dude gets up, walks over to me and says, I know you think that I'm one of your homeboys because of my tattoos. And I used to be. But God put me in your path today to tell you that you don't have to be the man that you've always been. You can come in here and be someone different. Those words was the exact prayer that I prayed in the prayer circle. God, help me go in here and not be the man that I've always been. This dude walks up to me and says, God put me in your path to tell you, you don't have to come in here and be who you always have been. The exact prayer, right? And I was like, whoa. So this dude, he gives me a pamphlet. You know, in prison, you can do Bible studies through the mail, send them out. They come back and you grade them, and you go back and keep advancing and get certificates and all that, right? So he got me started doing that right there at the transfer facility. So I got this little pamphlet. I filled it out. I sent it to the little Bible study. They sent me one back. But then I catch the chain. They come and tell me, pack your stuff, because I'm going to my assigned unit now. So now I'm going where I'm going to do my time at. When I pack my stuff and go to the assigned unit that I'm going to, I realize that I'm being transferred to the very place where I'm sending all my Bible studies to. They're grading it and sending it back to me. So God basically just bypassed the whole mail part and put me right there, right? So I'm getting met by this dude who gives me this thing, says do this, and then I get sent where it's at. So I'm not doing mail anymore. I'm there on the unit. And I get there. So when I get there, I'm feeling like God is walking with me because of what this dude just told me. It was the same words that I prayed, right? So I go in there feeling like, okay, God's walking with me. I felt that, you know what I mean? And so I get in there and I want to go ahead and get signed in to the Bible college that's on the unit so I can learn more, right? Well, they tell me that there's a 6-month waiting period to get into the Bible college. You know, so there's been people from all over Texas waiting to get in here. You know what I mean? So you're not going to be able to get in. You know? Anyway, long story short, it wasn't 2 weeks later they tell me to pack up. I'm moving to the faith-based wing and I'm in the Bible college. Right? So now I'm in the Bible college, but I want to remind y'all something. This is how y'all know that I'm keeping it real. You remember when I told you that you go in and out of there and I was kind of affiliated, right? Anytime that you're kind of affiliated with something, when you get to the unit that you're going to, you can't just get there and act like you're not somebody. That don't work. When you get there, you got to be who you are, or it's going down, right? As soon as they find out. So I walk into this unit knowing that I'm affiliated, but also knowing that I prayed and he answered my prayer and he put me through this college. So now I'm in a dilemma. By worldly standards, I'm supposed to come in here to represent. By godly standards, I'm supposed to go in here and be who he's called me to be. But now I got a dilemma. How do you do that? I can't be this and be that. So I remember when I was in the Bible college, the first verse that I remember standing out to me was that you cannot serve God and man at the same time because you're going to end up loving one and hating the other. And it was true. So I got a dilemma now. I want to be this, but I'm actually this. But the truth is telling me this, so I got to do something. Right? So now I know I have to make a decision. I'm in a maximum security, 2,500 man, gun tower, razor wire everywhere unit, and I'm an escape artist with an escape on my record. And I pull up in this place, trying to walk with God, and I'm trying to be better, but I belong to these people, and I got to do something because I know the spirit inside of me is telling me it's time, right? So I know that if you're wanting to do what I have to do, then you have to make a stand, right? So I find out who's in charge of the unit, inmate-wise, not guard-wise. I find out who's running the show, because I have to go talk to this dude. So I find out who's running the show, and they tell me what time he goes to take a shower, because their wing showers at this time. So I make it to where I can be in the shower at the same time that he's going in there, because it's the only way I'm going to catch this dude. So I go in there and I tell him. I walk up to him. He don't know me. I don't know him. I said, look, dog, my name is Kevin. I'm one of your homeboys, but I've decided that I'm going to walk with the Lord and I want to change my life. And so I'm getting out. I'm backing out, whatever that means. This man looks at me with probably the most scariest look that I've ever seen in prison. He looks at me and he says, go to the gym tonight.
What do you say?
Go to the gym tonight. That's all he says. Now, if you've heard the stories, you've seen the movies, you already know what time it is when you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. You can just imagine. And the only words that I know is go to the gym. Now I got to go back to the dorm. This is morning time. Gym's not till nighttime. I got to go back to my dorm all day long thinking, what are they going to do to me when I get to the gym tonight? For real. This is serious business. Because they don't know me. I don't know them. Whenever you follow on a unit, you get to know who's who, and they get to know you. That's kind of how it goes. But they didn't know me. They just know that some dude walked up and said he wants to get out, and we were going to see him at the gym tonight. That's all they know. Okay, so by the time it's time to go to gym, word has already spread. You know, prison's like a gossip mill. People know what's going on. All the way to the point that right before it's time to go to gym, I got people down in the day room and on the other runs under me talking about, oh, it's going down tonight. They're about to call gym. It's about to be gym time. Y'all get ready. Right? They're hyping it up down there, and I'm up here praying, Lord. I'm trying to walk with you. I'm trying to do what you asked me to do. You know? I'm making a stand, so just be with me. They called the gym. They called gym finally. Now, the unit that I was on, the gym at that time felt like it was 73 miles away. Right? I'm walking down this long hallway. It felt like 73 miles to get there. I finally walked through the doorway of this gym, and I look into the gym. I see a circle of the meanest dudes you could ever possibly imagine seeing, in a circle of about 60 people in a circle. And I walk up, and as I enter through the doorway, I can hear whispers. There he is. Here he comes. That's him. Right? I can hear this as I'm walking in. And then it's like, you know, God split the sea, right? I walk up to this circle and they all split, right? So now I'm standing here. I got 60 people in like a horseshoe because they done moved out their circle and just left me on this side. You know what I mean? And so I tell them, I'm like, yeah, man, my name's Kevin. I came to just let you guys know I'm trying to change my ways, trying to walk with God. You know, he's put it on my heart to do this, so here I am, and this is what I'm doing, right? In a nutshell. I started hearing all kinds of chatter. Oh, you already know what it is, and this and that, and then, you know, a bunch of cheerleaders, a bunch of talk, right? But by the grace of God, there was this one dude in that circle that was bigger than the rest of them, and he was the speaker on the other half of the unit. They called him Big Homie. Big Homie busts out with these words. Hold up, boys. Y'all trying to tell me that if I decide I want to change my life, y'all are going to try to kill me? What do we stand for? I thought we stood for trying to look out for each other, help each other have what we need, you know, keep other people off of us. I thought we were supposed to be represent something good, basically, right? And this is this dude. I don't know this dude, but I like what he's saying. Yeah, I don't know him, but I like what he's saying. I'm over there thinking, yeah. So, because this dude had so much pull and was so much bigger than the rest, they start telling him, oh, no, big homie, it ain't like that. We do represent good stuff. We want people to better themselves. And so they're talking to him, but I'm still standing over there waiting on the verdict. So he ends up talking them in to having some sense, right? So it ended up being like this. I ended up getting an ultimatum. They turned around to me and they said, all right, here's the deal. You want to go walk with God? You want to walk away from us? You want to go do your thing? We're going to let you. We're going to let you. But don't let us catch you doing anything wrong. I'm talking about don't get a tattoo, don't sell no cigarettes, don't this, don't drink no wine. If you're trying to walk with God, we're going to go ahead and get on board with that. But if we find out it's anything else, you know what it is, and we're watching, right? So I walked back. Now the distance didn't seem so long. I was still alive. I walked back, and I know the guy was walking with me at that point. I took a stand for him. He took a stand for me. Amen. And now I can be who he called me to be, right? So, I'm going to try to run through something real quick. I got less than 10 minutes, right? Okay, while I was in the prison, I cut hair with the comb and the razor in the day. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I got good at that. So good that they told me you need to go work in the inmate barbershop. So I did. I got a job in the inmate barbershop. I'm in there cutting hair. In the inmate barbershop, inmates or our brothers pay each other with stamps. I can go get a haircut or a nice fade, here's some stamps, hook me up. That's how it is in there. Right? So I'm doing that. Cutting hair, they're looking out for me, it's all working out. One day a captain of the unit, a CO captain, walks in the inmate barbershop and says, hey you, come with me. I look at him. My first thoughts are, somebody done snitched that their hands were stamps. Now we're out of there, right? Now we're out, and then they're going to find out, and I'm really out of there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like this, right? And but it wasn't that. He walks me through a series of tunnels in this prison, all the way to where I'm looking at the front parking lot, but I'm inside of an office. And I got an escape on my record. I already know I ain't supposed to be nowhere near these people's front door. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have easily just walked out. We already passed the metal detector. You know what I'm saying? He walks me into the officer's barbershop. He says, here's the deal. The major wants you to cut my hair. And if you do good, he wants you to be his barber. Because word done got around that you cut hair good in the inmate barbershop. So he sits down in the chair, folds his shirt down, and says, okay, cut my hair. I'm still in shock that I'm even up here. I'm looking at cars. And then I look at these clippers, and they're like gold and stuff. The ones that we had in the inmate barbershop, we're in there with screwdrivers that we done made ourselves. We're trying to tighten them up. They're falling apart. So God promoted me, is what I'm trying to say. He promoted me from the inmate barbershop. From cutting hair in the day room, inmate barbershop, officer's barbershop. I got so good in there that I'm cutting the warden's hair. Then they're bringing their kids in there for me to cut their hair. Now this is getting really ridiculous. Right? The favor that God has put on my life at this point, it's just ridiculous. I'm eating cheeseburgers from McDonald's, cutting hair with gold clippers, drinking cappuccinos, watching a flat screen TV. We didn't have none of that in the inmate barbershop. We're drinking cold coffee in styrofoam cups that we smuggled in ourselves. You know what I mean? So God's favor is on my life. Right? By this time, I had graduated the Bible college and became a teacher at the Bible college. So the college, the Bible college that I wasn't even supposed to be able to get in for 6 months, like a year or two later. Now I'm graduated and teaching there. I'm feeling so confident that God is real in my life that I said a prayer. This is me being bold. I said, Lord, I know you're walking with me, but if you're really walking with me, I would like to go to the trustee camp. I got an escape on my record. Anybody been to prison before already knows you cannot go to no trustee camp with an escape on your record, right? But at the same time, I'm not supposed to be cutting hair with golden clippers looking out the front door either. I'm talking about they prop it open sometimes. The breeze is coming in. I'm like, this is crazy. I say this prayer, if you're really walking with me, Lord, then I want to go to trustee camp. Then I'll know I'll never a day in my life doubt. Man, I'm in there cutting hair with these golden clippers. That same captain that came and pulled me out of the inmate barbershop, now he comes into the officer's barbershop, the one that had to cut his hair. He says, hey, you, come with me. I'm walking behind him now. I'm thinking, dang, this is the second time he's pulled me out. Now I'm thinking that we done got snitched on because they're bringing us cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? Because I done elevated from the stamps to cheeseburgers and fries. You know what I'm saying? But this is favor. I'm not bragging on me. This is God. So he walks me out. Now we're going back through the unit, back into the unit. I don't know where I'm going. He ain't saying nothing. He didn't say anything the first time until we got all the way in there. So I'm walking by him. He's unlocking all these doors, clicking all these. I finally end up in the warden's office. I'm standing with the captain, looking at the warden, assistant warden, major, and I got a captain beside me. I'm thinking, I'm out of there. They got to pour up another charge on me. You know what I'm saying? Well, when I walk in there, the warden looks up for me and says, Kevin Matthews? I said, yeah. He said, you need to go pack your stuff. You're going to trustee camp. Whenever that happened, I knew for a fact God had favor on my life. There's no way somebody with 20 years with an escape is supposed to be out there on the trustee camp. I'm going to fast forward. I only got a couple more minutes. I end up getting out and going back to the hood because that's the only place I had to go. I was on fire for the Lord, but nobody else was trying to hear it. So it didn't take very long. I was out for a while, but I ended up catching a misdemeanor DWI. Right? So I went to ISF. I get to ISF and I pray, Lord, I want to be the man you've called me to be, but I need you to put me somewhere where I can actually do it. Because where I was at, it wasn't working. Nobody was trying to hear it, and I ended up falling. So I said that prayer. I ended up in San Angelo, Texas. Never heard of San Angelo, Texas in my life. I'm from Houston. This is a little speck on the map. You know what I mean? Never heard of it. But he opened up a door to the Opera House. Yay. San Angelo, Texas. Whenever I get out, Chris tells me, we're full at the moment. Go to U-turn for Christ for a little bit, and then you can come over here, right? I said, okay, that's cool. I go to U-turn for Christ. I get rooted and grounded and walking with God. Then I end up graduating to come here. Still walking with God. Became a leader, van driver. I've done everything that we do here. Worked at Buddy's. As I'm here, God is still walking with me. I'm still walking with him. I get blessed with a car. After I get a car, I get blessed with some money and put a down payment on a house. I move to a house from here. After I get into this house, I get blessed with a fiance who is now my wife. So I come from here, get a car, get a house, get a wife, and now I have a whole family, and now we're buying another home together, right? So And now we have multiple vehicles, now we have multiple years clean, right? But the thing is, I remember that fire that was behind me back then, when I knew that I had no choice but to do right. Because if I made one mistake, I'm out of there. I live my life like that still today. If I make one mistake, I'm out of there, so I'm doing what's right. If I go back before that judge, he's sure enough ain't playing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But if I go back in there, they ain't playing either. So I basically, it's almost like God worked with me to give me the fire that I needed to move forward and be who He's called me to be. And that's where I am today. Today I work at Journey Recovery Center. I'm a supervisor there. My life is dedicated to helping people. I teach, I preach. My life is all about service. And so I said all that, and I mean, you guys, I've been right where you're at. I've had the same opportunity that y'all have right now. I don't know if you're praying, the praying kind. If you have a higher power, I recommend talking to them. I recommend walking with them. I recommend getting rid of some stuff that you need to get rid of. If the only place that you have to go is back to where it's no good at, don't go nowhere until something else opens up. Because when I did that, I failed. I'm never doing that again. I know better than to go backwards. I'm going forward. My name is Kevin Matthews. I love you guys. God bless you.
Thanks,
I've been fulfilling Ruth's promises, and we'll close it out.
I'm Chris, I'm an addict.
Hi, Chris.
If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know new freedom and a new happiness. We will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. We will comprehend the word of serenity and we will know peace. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self-seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Fear of people and the economic insecurities will leave us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. We will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them.
I'll circle it up and get out of here.